Usually in mid to late spring, cold climate gardeners sow potatoes. You should plant in late summer or late winter in a warm climate so that the plants won't be attempting to grow during the hottest months. In a 6-inch deep hole or ditch, plant seed potato pieces with the cut side down. Eyes should face up. Leave 12 inches of separation around each on all sides. 2 tablespoons of a low nitrogen, high phosphorus fertilizer should be sprinkled between each segment. Afterward, bury the potatoes and fertilizer under 2 inches of dirt and water well. Growing potatoes successfully is rather simple if you abide by some fundamental rules. Select both an early and a late season kind to lengthen your potato growing season. While you place these concurrently, the late season variety is gathered some weeks after you have already excavated the main season potatoes. Buy verified disease-free seed potatoes. One risk is trying to grow potatoes bought from the grocery store. Apart from the disease issue, potatoes are frequently given a growth inhibitor to prevent them from sprouting in the supermarkets. So, for crop rotation, you'll want to plant potatoes somewhere tomatoes or eggplant were raised the year before. These vegetables can draw similar pests and issues as potatoes do, since they're all in the same nightshade family. When it comes to potato cultivation, you can actually take one of 2 approaches. There's a basic scatter approach, and then there's a trench and hill method where dirt is added around the stem as it grows upward. Using the traditional potato planting technique, you dig a shallow ditch that's about 6 inches deep and set the seed potatoes in, eyes up. After that, you cover the potatoes with several inches of soil. As the plants grow, the soil is often piled up along the sides of the potato plants. This helps keep the surface tubers from being exposed to sunshine, which would turn them green and, honestly, rather poisonous. Plus, it keeps the soil around the growing tubers loose. Add dirt to the heel whenever the plants are 4 to 6 inches tall. Once the flowers start to bloom, you can go ahead and halt soil healing. Some gardeners choose to merely place the seed potatoes right on the earth and then bury them under a few inches of mulch. As the plants mature, you may keep mulching. This approach is almost certainly not your best option if you have a rodent issue. Plant potatoes in full sun to encourage top growth, which will help roots to develop. Although they can tolerate part shade, it is the abundant top growth that feeds the roots below. At least 6 to 8 hours per day of sunlight is ideal. Growing tubers near the surface run the risk of turning green. Hence, they must be shielded from the sun. Hilling dirt around the developing plants helps to stop this. Hilling is the practice of building earth up around plant stems as they grow. Potatoes grown in soils with a higher pH seem prone to scab, which causes rough patches on the potato. So, it's best to grow your potatoes in soil having an acidic pH between 5.0 and 6.0. Potatoes really dislike exceptionally rich soil. The potatoes should be pleased if your soil contains a lot of organic material and the pH is neutral to acidic. The soil must have good drainage and be open. You'll need to prepare soil heavy in clay with loose soil down to the depth where the potato tubers will grow. Potato plants need continuous access to water. Make sure the plants get at least 1 inch of water every week, especially when they bloom, since that's the height for potato tuber development. They're pretty sensitive to drought conditions. Mulching around the plants will help to preserve moisture. Ideally, at least 45 degrees Fahrenheit potatoes should not be planted until the soil temperature reaches that level. Summer crops grow best in regions with cold summers, since potato tubers develop best at 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit in the soil. And, well, they pretty much cease growing when the temperature reaches 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Maintaining the soil up to 10 degrees Fahrenheit cooler is possible by mulching around the plant with a thick layer of straw. Potatoes are sometimes planted as a winter crop in hot summer areas. Potatoes are insensitive to air humidity. When you plant your potatoes, organic, slow-release fertilizer can be used. And, it's a good idea to provide them a diluted liquid fertilizer or fish emulsion every few weeks.